Hi guys, it's Inka. So I took Magnesium L-Threonate for about 1 year to see if it could improve my memory, sleep, and productivity. So I have read the studies on its potential benefits for memory, cognition, and sleep, and I wanted to see if I could experience and feel these benefits myself too. I was also curious about how Magnesium L-Threonate would compare to other forms of magnesium. So in this video, I'll share my exact experience with Magnesium L-Threonate supplementation and why it's currently one of my favorite supplements. I also cover the science and potential limitations or downsides with the supplement. I took a few bottles of magnesium here just in case I want to read you something or show you something, but I'm not sponsored by these companies and this is not a video made in collaboration with any of the brands. You may already know this, but the challenge with most free magnesium, whether from supplements or food, is that it has very hard time accessing the brain. So magnesium needs to bind to something to be delivered to the brain tissue to cross the blood-brain barrier. And Magnesium L-Threonate was developed quite recently in 2010 by MIT neuroscientists, searching for a form of magnesium that could effectively cross the blood-brain barrier and access the brain tissue. So they discovered that L-Threonate, which is a vitamin C metabolite, could serve as an efficient carrier for the magnesium to the brain tissue. And so they developed Magnesium L-Threonate and then they patented Magtein. So I started with 1 gram of Magnesium L-Threonate powder, which equals about 75 milligrams of elemental magnesium. And actually, what does elemental magnesium mean? Elemental magnesium means the amount of actual magnesium that the supplement has. So if 1 gram of Magnesium L-Threonate has 75 milligrams of elemental magnesium, that means that 925 milligrams of the supplement consists of L-Threonate, the carrier molecule, and possibly some other minor compounds inside the formulation. So that's what I started with. And I was very pleasantly surprised by the noticeable effects of Magnesium L-Threonate. So unlike many other supplements which take weeks to work, Magnesium L-Threonate for me had an effect within days. So I noticed sharper working memory and better productivity and flow compared to the days that I was not taking Magnesium L-Threonate. Before I started with Magnesium L-Threonate, I had been taking multiform magnesium supplements, specifically this one, which contains magnesium, citrate, malate, taurate, glycinate, glycerophosphate, and vitamin B6. And I do love it for preventing muscle cramps, preventing tension, and improving general health. But for me, the difference between Magnesium L-Threonate was quite noticeable when it comes to brain function per se. So I started combining it with coffee and cacao, both which are known to enhance alertness and focus. So the effect is somewhat similar than combining coffee with L-theanine, but those who find L-theanine a bit too relaxing, Magnesium L-Threonate could be a great alternative. The next benefit I noticed was fewer headaches and reduced light sensitivity. Recently, I was traveling and I didn't have my Magnesium L-Threonate with me, and I had to rely only on magnesium citrate. And once again, it kind of confirmed to me that whereas the citrate is okay for general relaxation, the Magnesium L-Threonate helps better with my mental balance and brain health. I was thinking during the travel, part of the reason I wanted to make this video for you is that when I was there, it was very sunny country, hectic country. I did notice that I missed my Magnesium L-Threonate, and I think that would have done so good for my nervous system during that travel. The fourth benefit, I'm noticing a better sleep. Interestingly, while Magnesium L-Threonate seems to support my sleep and sleep quality, it's not sedative. So if I take it after dinner, I still remain productive and alert. But when my head hits the pillow, I'm falling asleep faster and I think my sleep quality is better. Therefore, I can take Magnesium L-Threonate at any point during the day that I want, as I alluded before. There was also an interesting study about this. So they gave 80 adults with sleep issues 1 gram or 75 milligrams of elemental Magnesium L-Threonate for 21 days. And as a result, their aura scores improved, particularly REM and deep sleep stages. I want to point out one limitation of this score, or rather, I should say, a consideration when you're using it. So I did an experiment, as I alluded earlier, where I stopped taking all other magnesium forms and I only used magnesium L-Threonate. And I did notice increased muscle cramps and body tension. Hence, this experience confirms to me that a combination of a magnesium L-Threonate along with other forms of magnesium is ideal to get the full benefits of magnesium supplements. Briefly about the dosing, I currently take between 75 milligrams to 150 milligrams of elemental magnesium L-Threonate. So I have tried higher doses as well, but I just couldn't see that much more improvement. I decided to just stay within that range of dosing. So finally, as I promised, I briefly want to talk about the science of magnesium, especially when it comes to brain health. Research shows that magnesium levels are associated, for example, with cognitive aging, and specifically a meta-analysis found that serum magnesium levels of 0.85 millimoles a liter are linked to the lowest risk of cognitive impairment. The second benefit for the brain is that magnesium regulates neurotransmitters. One of the most known mechanisms of magnesium is that it helps to prevent so-called excitotoxicity. So basically, magnesium sits inside NMDA receptors, helping to block or prevent excessive glutamatergic signaling. And without enough magnesium in the brain, these gates remain open for too long, which then can lead to excessive glutamate signaling, which then can in turn lead to hyperexcitation in the neurons, insomnia, stress, anxiety, migraines, and even seizures. Additionally, magnesium binds to GABA-A receptors, which support calmness, contentment, and sleep. And finally, magnesium also boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is a protein that is crucial, for example, for learning and memory and neuroplasticity. So I want to quickly summarize my experience with magnesium L-Threonate. It improved my cognition and mental clarity, focus, and working memory. And I had better sleep and fewer headaches and light sensitivity. However, it did not help me with my muscle tension or general relaxation. So for that, I keep using multiform magnesium. I feel like almost everyone has some sort of experience with magnesium supplements. If you want to share yours, you can put it in the comments below this video. And if you're interested in health, wellness, and longevity, subscribe to the channel and click the bell button to get notified. And I hope to see you in the next video.